Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining me. And if you would, let's start off with the checks. If you can hear me, please give me a green check. Okay, great. And if you can see the slide, it says week 6, presentation 3. Again, please give me a green check. All right, great. And in the upper right-hand corner, last one, do you see the red light next to recording? Please give me a green check. All right, fantastic. Looks like we're ready to go. And again, thank you for joining me. And a reminder, please silence your phones, close your doors, put a do not disturb sign, and get ready for class. Everybody's lowered a hand, so we don't need to go over that. And everybody's done an audio check. All righty. Today we're going to be talking about what we learned in the last 2 weeks. We had 2 chapters in the book to read, and we had several articles to read. And most of it is about getting a community built online, and also some of the testing issues. And I'm going to be dealing mostly with the testing as we go through here, but we're going to cover everything. So let's go ahead and start off. And what I want to start off with is an icebreaker. And that icebreaker, what I want to do is I want to prove that we have started building a community here. And what I'd like you to do is down in the chat box, I'd like you to identify one interesting fact that you know about our other classmates. And of course, there's only 3 of us there, so if you would, please put an interesting fact about each one of us. And I'll give you a minute or so, and I'm going to join in. I'm even going to put mine in there too. Okay, let's see what we have here. All right, Nita. Let's see. Andrew says that Nita plays music at her church, and we just learned that tonight, as a matter of fact. And I put for Nita, I said works in an office but wants to be a teacher. And then Nita on Andrew says has an awesome last name. I found it interesting. I really loved your desert picture at the very first class we had. Nita says that I have a cool job. Oops. And Andrew says Pat likes to discover his family heritage, and that is true. So again, we've learned a few things about each other these last couple of weeks, proving that we have actually gotten to know each other, even though we're doing this over the internet. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to start, and we're going to get into talking about the topics for this week. And some of the topics was about face-to-face versus online, and as can an instructor design his or her class to humanize the online learning environment to enhance social presence. Of course, it also works with the cognitive presence and the teaching presence, but the biggest thing that we're focusing on this week is the social presence, making the classmates feel like they know each other. And during some of our readings, we had from Alfred Rivola, and I'm not sure if I said his last name correctly, but one of the quotes that I got out of his was focus on how best to design and conduct online courses that fosters community among learners who are physically separated from each other. And of course, the 3 of us are physically separated from each other, but again, we do feel like classmates, and we have learned about each other. And then another quote that I pulled was Debbie Steinman. By having a participatory relationship with students, teachers can decrease teacher-to-learner transactional distance, shifting the focus from power and hierarchy to teaching and learning. In other words, by being a fellow member of this online class, the teachers kind of close that gap. We reach across or we span that distance. Okay. And then our next topic that we were talking about was about assessments. And one of the things that I found quite interesting, and a lot of the students agreed during some of our other classes, was that there was a need, or the educators feel that there's more of a need to assess the quality of online environments more so than they do feel the need to assess the quality of in-resident or face-to-face. And I really thought that was kind of strange. And again, if somebody wouldn't mind grabbing the mic or typing down in there, why do you think that everybody believes that you have to assess the online to prove that there's quality there? And again, you can either text it or jump on the mic.
Well, I think in part, Pat, it has probably to do with the fact that they're trying to really overcome for what everyone feels is a deficiency in online learning. So I think they feel like they need to do more for that reason.
Okay, more to prove that it is a quality online learning. And Anita also says she thinks that there is some mistrust just because it's new and it's a change, it's different. And that's probably really true. A lot of people aren't used to it. They grew up face to face, and doing online is a little different for them. Okay, and then the next topic that we were talking about was online cheating. And I'm actually we're going to get into our breakout rooms here, and we're going to do a little thing. And what I wanted to do is look at our a case study, and that case study is about the Air Force. The Air Force suspended 92 officers at Malmstrom Air Force Base in a cheating scandal. And don't worry, this is not classified. There's nothing about it. You can Google it, and you can find it all over the web. So there's nothing classified. I'm not telling you anything I shouldn't be telling you. And here is the case study. And just to sum it up, what had happened is that a lot of the what they call missileers felt a need to cheat. There was pressures from within, there was pressures from outside, and they actually caught them. The way they caught them is that there was a drug screening, and somebody popped positive on that screening, and then kind of blew the whistle on everybody. Figured if I'm going down, everyone's going down. So, and this is just an extract from that. But I have put in the references, when we get to the end of here, the actual links that you can go out and read the entire story. Or again, you can Google it and you can find it real easy. But what I want you to do here in a minute, and there's a graph in the breakout room, and I want you to go in there and I want you to give me list a bunch of the issues that happened, and then I want you to make recommendations on the solutions. And then after we get back from the breakout room, we'll go over it, and I will go over the ones that I pulled from there. So if everyone's ready, let's go ahead and move to the breakout room. We're going to take about 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'll ask you to come back. Any questions before we go? Okay, if you would, please go ahead and move yourself to the breakout room. Okay, is it not letting you move?
Yeah, Pat, I went to move and it wasn't letting me.
Okay, let me try to drag you both down there then.
Okay.
Okay, is everybody back?
Yes.
Okay, great. Alrighty, now what we're going to do is I'm going to pull the breakout rooms back over. Okay, and because of time, we didn't get too far, but the issues that were identified was the answers being sent via the cell phone, and of course the solution is to turn in technology prior to entering the testing facility. And then we started talking about how promotions were being held uh, because commanders wanted everybody to score 100, and so you thought there was extra pressure, and we didn't quite get to the solution yet. But here is what I came up with when I was working on it, and the issues being the culture. And the culture is the culture of cheating. It's been going on for years, apparently, according to the interviews that they had. And the solution to that would be to move people more often, have them change bases more often. The second one was it was tied to promotion, and instead of giving a percentage, just give a pass or fail to the commanding officer. That way he can't make that decision based on a 90% or 100%. There's a single test, and do a question pool rather than a test. Cell phone usage we covered. Failures without cheating. You have to take a look at the training because they had 22 people fail when they retested, and there wasn't any cheating. There's other illegal activities going on. There's a regular screening is that. And then procedures, what you want to do is probably have an outside agency or a third party that's disinterested in giving the test. Okay. And that pretty much is it. So we talked about building a community. We talked about why we think that we have to be assessed more when we're online than we do face-to-face. And then we talked about online cheating. We did a quick case study on the Air Force's nuclear, the Missileers. And we got a few of those things in there, but it took a little bit longer than I thought it would, so I apologize for that. Do I have any questions from anybody? Okay, well, it doesn't seem like I have any questions. I really do appreciate you coming tonight. And again, down at the very bottom of my references here, you can see that I do have the link if you want to go out and read that whole thing. Again, none of it's classified. You can read about it. Thank you very much, and you all have a nice evening.